Good morning, evening, afternoon, and welcome to episode 3 of Café Stella and the Reaper's Butterflies. Right, so thank you for continuing watching the series. We are continuing off from an interesting part of the story. We found out that he technically died, but didn't. It's quite interesting. Can't wait to see how it ends up. Alright, let's carry on. The exact same conversation we had in my dream. No, best not read into it too much. I don't want to intentionally scare myself. Sorry I'm behind on rent. I'll go discuss things with your dad sometime. And I'll find a new job too, I promise. For now, I should just eat and not worry about it. You will worry about it a lot, I'm sure. After breakfast, I hurry over to school so I'm not late for class, only to learn. Exact same thing. Yeah, I know. Everything really is the same. Both class being cancelled and the words coming out of Hiroto's mouth. No, it's nothing. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little groggy. Oh man. Sure. Nah, I'm good. If you're paying. You went big at Mahjong, didn't you? With the Riichi Ippatsu Pinfu Junchan Sanshoku Ippeku Ko and Triple Dora. Okay. Why would I want to spy on a fellow dude? Not sure how to explain the deja vu, maybe? It's just like I had this conversation with you before, in a dream. Apparently. First time I ever felt it so strongly though. He nods pensively as he sips on his coffee. I do the same. What? I'm just not a fan of sugar in my coffee. Makes the acidity more pronounced, you know. Must feel weird to repeat the same words, to repeat yourself. Nah, I don't mind. Go ahead, you paid for it. Just try not to spill anything, please. Funny. I put my coffee cup down and he picks it up. Then he takes a sip. Okay, that warning didn't help, it seems. Oh. Sorry, I didn't even read that. He immediately jerks backwards in disgust, and nervously knocking his own cup over in the process. The coffee spills everywhere. Just feels like I've read it before, because I have read it before. What did I tell you? I get up and fetch some napkins. Spoil it just like you did in the dream. You're welcome. If you want, I can. Never mind. I'll buy you another one if you want. It's no big deal. You bought mine, so I'm just returning the favor. No problem. Take out a 100 yen coin from my wallet and hand it to him. Oh, he's making him go do it this time. Interesting. Sure. Watch Hiroto as he leaves for the convenience store. In honesty, I was too afraid to go myself. What if Shikinatsume was there again, pouring 7 sticks of sugar and 2 creamers into her coffee? The events of my dream are reoccurring, one after another. I'm scared of where the logical conclusion to this takes me. If Shikinatsume is there, and everything plays out identical to the way I did in my dream, then that means I'm going to die later today? Things like deja vu, precognition, and prophetic visions are mere pseudoscience. There's no way any of those exist in actuality. Yet, despite my best efforts to allay my fears, a nagging doubt persists, like a tiny bone lodged in my throat. Part of me refuses to readily accept that everything I experienced was just a dream. Probably because it felt so damn real. Still, I have to know. Was Shikinatsume in there? Yes or no? The more I try not to think about it, the more my curiosity grows. Nah, I'm fine. It didn't take you long, huh? So, damn it, it's gonna bug me to know if I don't ask. Were there any other customers in there with you? Are you sure they weren't? It was just you, huh? No reason. Anyway, I learned everything I needed to know. Yeah, definitely feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder. I was so worried for nothing. Oh, sorry for interrupting that. Don't let it bother you. Happens to all of us from time to time. Anyway, you wouldn't happen to know of any good places that are hiring, would you? Yeah, before exams, last semester, got into an argument with my boss. All good, just thought I'd ask. Yeah, the ones they tell you about are usually all crap. True, might as well try. Guess you're right, no harm in trying. Let's go stop by there. On the way to Student Affairs office, I chance a glance into the convenience store as we pass by. Okay. Seeing her cough inside the store, a cold sweat runs down my spine once more. Next she reaches a hand out towards the sugar. It all adds up now that I think about it. Shikinatsume wasn't there because of a simple difference in timing. Which means the events of my dream are continuing unabated. I went to all my classes after that. The lectures too were exactly the same as I remember them being in my dream. And if this pattern is to hold, the next thing that happens to me will be... Here I am, the scene of the accident. I wonder what that whistling is, it irritates me. Anyway, this is where my life ended. Truth be told, coming to this area is less than wise. I don't want to die. I don't want to lose my life in this accident. But everything is going to happen in the exact same manner. I'm not the only one at risk. In a dream, I was in no condition to observe my surroundings, but I have to imagine that I wasn't the only casualty. As much as I want to avoid this altogether, I can't exactly turn a blind eye to what's about to happen either. So I want to stop the accident, sure. But how the hell does a person stop a car crash? I can't recall the moment of impact too clearly, so I don't know precisely when it's going to happen. I considered calling the police, but I can't exactly tell them I had a dream predicting a future accident. Yeah, that would not have gone down well. They'd no doubt write it off as a prank call. All I can do now is stay on my toes and be ready to run the instant I hear anything alarming. Here we go. Stand in place, waiting. And the moment arrived sooner than I expected. I hear the sound of screeching tires. However, there's no sound indicating a collision. No runaway vehicle barreling towards me. Instead, I hear the blare of a car horn, so noisy. On close inspection, the car seems to have stopped in time. Are you insane? You'll kill me, you asshole! Cars are sitting in the middle of the intersection, their drivers irritably yelling at one another. I wonder if the future changed just with a slight change with him not going to the convenience store instead. The so-called butterfly effect. Oh. However, the accident I'd foreseen hadn't come to pass. After the two have finished their bickering, they drive off, and traffic resumes as normal. That car was... I can't be sure since it all happened in a blur, but I'm pretty sure it was the same one that hit me. In other words, the situation as I predicted it could very well have happened still, but it was narrowly avoided. Does this mean I'm in the clear? As I stand there, disoriented, I'm struck by a sudden feeling that I'm being watched. Probably by your so-called ghost. Oh, okay, cat. Turning around, my eyes fall upon a cat. Ash grey fur, likely a stray. I have no recollection of this cat in my dream. Well, technically you already passed the point of where you kind of stopped remembering, I'm sure. It stares toward me, unblinkingly. Just gonna have something to drink. Hold on. Sorry about that, my throat is a bit dry. It stares toward me, unblinkingly. Almost as if it's singling me out. Its gaze seems eerily human-like, its eyes fixated on me. I can't help but entertain the possibility that this furry creature may be responsible for the change in my fate. Wonder if the ghosts possessed it or something. Unconsciously, my feet start moving, and I cross the intersection in pursuit of the cat, to which the cat turns around and slowly saunters off. Perhaps it sensed my intentions. Something isn't right. The cat continues trotting down the sidewalk at a leisurely pace, rather than slinking away into some narrow hole like most strays do, almost as though intentionally choosing a path through which I could follow it. Every so often, it throws a glance over its shoulder to confirm that I'm there. It's wanting you to follow it. Is it just me, or is this cat trying to lead me somewhere? After following the cat for a while, I began to notice how deserted my surroundings have become. It's a little unnerving. Hopefully, I'm not being led into some kind of trap. My pulse continues to quicken as I chase after its tail, until finally, the cat comes to a stop. Turning around to face me, it places its two front paws together before resting on its hind legs. Then it stares at me, appraisingly. What was I hoping to even do after I caught up with it? Now that I've come this far, I feel like I've wasted my time. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be looking for a job, not running after stray cats. I guess I'll head back. Just as I turn on my heel. I recognize that voice. Sorry, just hold on 1 second. Okay, I recognize it, right? It's don't want me to replace it. It's a pretty famous voice. I look left and right, search of the source of the sudden voice. So it's the cat? But there's nobody else here. It has an unmistakably human voice, and the words it speaks are clearly directed towards me. Which means this cat is talking to me? That can't be right. Cats don't talk. Maybe I already did die in the accent. That would explain why I'm dreaming or hallucinating, rather. Are you the Grim Reaper? Here to take me away. He knows about this situation. Interesting. What do you mean?
こうして我が輩と喋っているのは夢でも幻でもない現実だ。2度目の9月28日といえば少しは理解できるか?
Second. I'm pretty sure there's more than second, but let's not get into that. What?
つまり貴様は1度目の9月28日に死んだのだ。
Perished. Hold on, what are you talking about?
正しく把握するのは難しいだろう。だが、死神というのもあながち間違いではない。
Huh?
すまんな。先に要件を済まさせてもらうぞ。
My chest is assailed by an odd, unfamiliar sensation. A large, carved blade of glistening silver is sinking into me. After all that talk of Grim Reapers, this has to be Death's own scythe. I try to look behind me, but my muscles don't respond. My knees buckle and I collapse onto the ground. It hurts a lot more than when I rolled off my bed this morning. The pain tells me this is no dream. Yet none of this feels quite real. Maybe it has something to do with all these butterflies I'm seeing. So introduced the Reaper girl who's on the cover art. Okay. Probably the ghost that's following us in terms related to the cat on the right. It almost looks like she's wearing a uniform, school uniform. Cape, I'm guessing. The scythe-wielding girl offers me a hushed apology. She sounds genuinely remorseful. So much for avoiding the car crash. Now Death herself has come to take my life. But why? I no longer have the strength to form words. Why do I have to die? Before I can even voice that question, My vision fades. I could run all I wanted, but I couldn't escape my fate.
良いのだな、本当に。
はい、もちろんですよ。
わかった。
Weird. My vision is gone, but my brain still seems to be working. Actually, hold up. All my senses are functioning too. The only reason it's pitch black is because there's some sort of cloth covering my face? This, this better not be my funeral. Gingerly, I lift the cloth from my face. Storeroom, backroom, changing room. It's all things I can think of instantly. One thing that came to mind is a changing room for a cafe, but that's more of a restaurant than a cafe. I wouldn't know. The cloth in question just happens to be large enough to cover an entire person. What is this thing? It's a swath. I'm guessing that's a reader. It's a swath of black and red. Unfamiliar, but with a sweet fragrance. I'm guessing it's hers. Yeah, it's her cloak. Is this a cloak? Why was I wearing a cloak? Also, it feels kind of damp. Ew. But more importantly, where am I? Okay. I did not expect that. Probably censoring this, because, yeah. Lifting my head, I find myself face to face with the very girl I saw at school earlier, Shiki Natsume. She's seated on a chair in the process of putting on her socks. Also, in her underwear. Pretty sexy underwear, I might add. Lilac? Oh, good choice. It's the very first thing that comes to mind. Though I hate to use her as a point of comparison. They're far more appealing than the pair Nozomi had on this morning. Judging by all that lace, the fabric must have a nice texture too. Even without touching it. I know it's just smooth. How smooth it must be. Nothing like men's underwear. Plain, everyday panties have their own appeal too, but personally these are more to my taste. Moreover, this is the first time I've seen a girl in a state of undress, so much exposed skin. Damn, she's gorgeous. Those are my honest thoughts. She looks like a figure out of a dream. Am I in heaven right now? Where is this? Why is Shiki Natsume sitting in front of me, half naked? Those are all very good questions. But the soft, slender body before my eyes dominates all of my thought right now. God damn, she's so hot. I agree. Yeah, it must be quite awkward. As I continue to stare at her awestruck, Shiki-san seems to notice me at last. Not that I was particularly a hot spot, given our proximity. For a brief moment, she's stupefied at my sudden appearance, but that quickly changes.
Huh?
Oh yeah, that's what she said. That's funny. She doesn't scream or slap me. She simply regards me with complete and utter contempt, like she's looking at a bug or something. A girl in her bra and panties staring down at me with withering gaze. You know what? I could get used to this. Yeah, I know there's some fetishes for that. I feel a new sexual fetish sprouting inside me. Then again, this is a very awkward scenario. First of all, I'm the only one who knows her. Right? First of all, I'm the only one who knows her. She has no idea who I am. I'm sure she does, since she did say that she was in the same one of her classes, so from her perspective, a completely strange just popped up while she was in the middle of changing. Wouldn't blame her if she decided to call the police. Realizing I wouldn't be able to talk my way out of this, I go with the best option I have. Good night. Yeah. Pretend you didn't see anything, just go to sleep. Which is to cover myself again. This has to be a dream. It has to be. Please God, let this be a dream. I thank you for gracing me with the sight of a beautiful girl in her brown panties. But if Rumagaz gets out on Grand Campus, then I'm some peeping Tom, my life will be all but over. And if it blows up online, I might actually be expelled. So please, let this be a dream. When I open my eyes, it will be morning of September 28th once more, and the zombie will be shaking me awake. Okay, I guess not.
Oi.
That look. As the cloth flies free, I find myself in the same unfamiliar room as before. And the girl standing before me is not Sumizome Nozomi, but Shiki Natsume. At least she's wearing clothes now.
Ohayo.
Good morning to you too.
随分と大胆な覗きもいたものね。
I wasn't trying to peep.
Huh?
He doesn't believe you whatsoever. I'm sorry.
いい夢見れた?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought I'd woken up in heaven when I saw you.
そう。なら次は本物の天国を見せてあげる。
Wait, please, I can explain. It was an accident, I swear. I wasn't trying to peep on you.
わざわざ休憩室に忍び込んでおいて。
The break room? Is that where I am?
白々しい。
I'm serious, I don't even know how I got you in the first place.
どんどんどん。ドンキー。
That sounded like...
どんどんどん。ドンキー。
Sounded like the theme song for Don Quixote, I think, a Japanese store. Interesting. They probably had to do it for a Western audience. What kind of scary ass poem is that? Please just calm down. I'll do anything you want.
記憶だけを差し出すか、いっそその首ごと差し出すか。どっち?
Okay, my first choice. Normally I like to save when I get choices like these. Okay. Actually, that reminds me. Putting a hold on that when I return. I wanted to mention this. Just waiting for that. So normally when there's these types of visual novels, there's roots. Obviously, you know. And I thought, since we're here, we have the main cast here in the main screen. And I was thinking, which one should I really go for? Which one should my first route be? And from visual aspects of each character here, there are two that pique my interest. I'm not quite sure of her, obviously, not yet. The character design of this one is interesting. I just found the dynamics with the childhood friend is interesting. And for various reasons, a lot of other different reasons. Quite an interesting character. So I think for the first start, I might actually just focus on her. Okay. I think that's what we'll go with for now. And if we were to think about that in terms of this choice, if this choice matters, because some games don't have mattering choices. Huh, that's actually quite a tough one, because this one makes you makes it so that you want to keep your memories. While this one is saying that you are okay with listening to her choice. Both are kind of, sorry for the noise, parting or okaying with her in a sense. But I'm actually pretty interested to see where this goes with this choice, so I'm going to go with this one. Neither of those are going to work. Or neither, okay. Calm down for a second and listen to me. I guess the choice really didn't matter. It's not much for that. Sorry about that. Calm down for a second and listen to me. See? I was taking a walk outside when I suddenly lost consciousness. Next thing I know, I wake up in this break room covered in a cloak.
Huh?
Excuse you? Oh, that's her. My bad. Look, I get it. I know this sounds crazy. It is. I can hardly believe it myself. I was chasing what turned out to be, well, a talking cat. But then I get stabbed from behind by a scythe. It sounds ludicrous, but believe me, it's true. She's not going to call the police. She can call the mental hospital. Oh, does she know them? The very girl who was about to end my life stops and ponders my words. Well, certainly wasn't expecting that. Same here. At that moment, the door opens.
ここで寝てもらってたんですね。よかった。ちゃんと起きてくれました。
The girl who enters looks at me with a smile. The Grim Reaper. I've never seen her before. Who is she? You've really forgotten that. Oh wait, no, I think he couldn't see her from behind. She was behind him, I think, when she stabbed him with the scythe. So he doesn't know it.
これ、秋月さんの仕業
Akizuki.
仕業だなんて人聞きの悪い。そりゃあ確かに休憩室に人を休ませているという説明を忘れてましたけど。あ、マント。そっか、ここに置いてましたか。とはいえこの雰囲気、もしや何かありました？
So she's the cause.
知らずに着替えてたから下着をというか下着姿を見られた。男の子に思いっきり見られた。それはごめんなさい。嫌がらせや驚かせようとしたわけではなく私のミスでした。謝罪します。すべては私の責任ですから、どうか高峰さんのことを許してもらえませんか？
Sorry, I really do feel bad about peeping on you. But I didn't do it on purpose. I hope you can find it in you to spare my life at the very least.
わかった。警察には電話しないでおく。よかった。ありがとうございます。
Yeah, really. I'd hate to end up with a criminal record.
殺人事件が起きるのはこれからだしね。
What? I thought you were calling the police. I get that you're upset about all this, but is it really worth ending a man's life over?
私にとっては帳尻が合うぐらい恥ずかしいことだったってこと。
I'm so sorry, I really am.
まあまあ、落ち着いてください。そんなに慌てなくてもただの照れ隠しですから。恥ずかしくてどんな風に接すればいいのかわからず対応がきつくなってるだけですよ。うるさいな。それとも、もしや人に見られると困るような下着だったんですか？
Nope.
普段履きで油断しすぎた下着、逆に気合が入ったエロい下着だとするとかなり恥ずかしいかもしれませんね。誰のせいでこんなことになったと思ってるの？ああ、私です。 すみません。茶化すつもりではなかったんですが、もう言いません。重ねて謝罪をしますから、何卒穏便にお願いします。ならもっと反省してくれない？猛省しまくりやがってくれない？はい、調子に乗りました。申し訳ありません。あと念のために言っておくけど、私は別にエロい下着なんて身につけてないからね。普通の下着だから。
What?
なんでそこで声を上げる？
I'm not sorry. I blocked out, unable to contain my shock. So that doesn't count as sexy? Sure, they're not risky enough to be pointed at the exposed nipples on your nether region, but I'd say they're plenty sexy. I've never seen anything as hot as that. It's really a sight for sore eyes. Girls really are something else.
夏目さんには普通でも、高峰さんには刺激が強かったようですね。ドンキと刃物だと、やっぱりドンキの方が楽かな。
Yeah, plant will leave less evidence in a sense. Shit, I gotta get out of here.
まあまあ、それだけ夏目さんが魅力的だったということです。女子としては誇っていいんじゃないですか？見られたのが下着姿でなければね。それにです、私の話がまだ終わっていません。殺されてしまうと困ります。
That's the only reason you have to object to me being murdered?
とりあえず、今日見たことは忘れて、わかった？
I'll try.
では、今度は私の話なんですが、本題に入る前に確認をさせてください。どこか痛かったり、気分が悪かったり、何か不調はありますか？
Not really, no.
よかった。心配する必要はないと分かってはいたんですが、何せ私も生きた人を切るのは初めてのことでしたから、ちゃんと目覚めて不調もないのでしたら、安心して良さそうですね。
Something hits me just now. I've heard this girl's voice somewhere before, and very recently at that. She just said it hit you with a scythe, so I'm guessing you did not listen to that part? But where?
何ですか？どうかしました？
Oh, wow, you only remember now. Oh, I guess he just woke up, I guess. I don't know. You're the one standing over me with that scythe.
私は秋月環奈と言います。
Kanna.
突然失礼しました。のんきに構えていられない事情がありまして。
So you're not denying that you tried to kill me?
誤解をされても仕方ないとは思いますが、そんなつもりはありません。あの鎌で切っても人は死んだりしませんよ。
You did slash me with it though.
はい、そこに関してはちゃんと全てを説明しますが、少し長い話になりそうですから場所を変えませんか？
Yeah, cafe.
私もここにいていいの？問題ありません。夏目さんにも関係してくることかもしれませんから。
She thinks she's related to this whole thing. So, what is this place? A cafe?
はい、そうですよ。まだ営業は始めてないけどね。
Oh, do you work here, Shiki-san?
そうだけど。なんで私の名前知ってるの？前に会ったことある？やだ怖い。覗きに加えてストーカー？
Wow, okay, so she doesn't know. Interesting. No, I'm not. Stop adding to my list of crimes, and I thought we agreed that I didn't peep on purpose. We go to the same college, and I'm a junior like you, though I'm in a completely different major program. My name's Takamine Kosei. I could have sworn he mentioned one class he was in the same one, or something similar to that. Must have misread it.
なんで私のことを知ってるの？
Well, You're famous around campus.
私が特に目立つこともしてないのに、もしかして愛想が悪いことで有名とか？
Okay, so she's not aware. I guess I'd be more apt to say you're the topic of rumors. Guys like to gossip about how pretty you are, or who's been confessing to you, why you rejected them, stuff like that.
なるほど、そういう噂か。
Don't worry though, I've never heard anything too bad about you. I'm not lying out of consideration for her feelings or anything. I've generally never heard any nasty rumors about Shiki Natsume. That said, I'm not exactly a man with many friends, and definitely not any female ones. So I have no way of knowing what other girls say about her. But still, if it was anything scandalous, I'd probably have heard of it from Hiroto. The way I see it, her claim to fame is a result of that air of mystique surrounding her. She's curt, but not rude. She can come off as somewhat aloof, although not completely unapproachable. She treats everyone alike, guy or girl, maintaining the exact same degree of social familiarity. It's a delicate balancing act that anyone else would have a hard time pulling off.
さてと、では本題なんですが、一体何から話せばいいのやら。あ、ごまかそうとしてるわけじゃないんですよ。話さなければいけないことが多いので。
I'm sure there is. Well, I'll go ahead and ask you a question, if I may. I haven't actually died, have I?
はい、あの鎌は人を殺傷するためのものではありませんから。
I wonder what's the purpose of it then?
改めて、私は秋月環奈です。そして人間ではありません。死神と呼ばれる存在です。
A Grim Reaper. Are you one too, Shiki-san? Yeah, I didn't think so.
彼女が死神ってことは知ってるけど、私は普通の人間。
What's this button? Right click just does that, okay. So I guess that means you're here due to some special circumstances of your own?
まあ、そういうこと。
Shiki-san says nothing more, averting her eyes. There's something more. Yeah, I guess I can take that to mean she doesn't want to elaborate on the subject.
夏目さんに関しては話がそれてしまいますから、今は高峰さんの事情について優先させましょう。
Okay, I'm listening.
死神と聞いて、高峰さんはどんなことを思い浮かべます？
An arbiter who decides when a person is to die? Or maybe they work under God as like a messenger?
そんなところですね。大体合ってます。我々死神は死者の魂を案内する役目を神から与えられた者たちです。
But I'm not dead.
今は死んでいません。ですが、忘れたわけではないはずです。交通事故に遭い、車にひかれて、一度死んでしまった。
So she knows the reason why he died. Wasn't that a dream though?
夢じゃありません。あれも現実です。ただし、あの事故が起きた9月28日はなかったことになりましたが。
What does that mean?
高峰さんが死んでしまったあの瞬間、世界は9月28日の朝に戻りました。だから今は2度目の9月28日になりますね。
Hold on a minute. So let me get this straight. Although I died, I returned to the morning of that day and I'm reliving it? Does that make this like some parallel world then?
世界が分岐したわけではなく、改変、上書きという考え方が近いかと。
Okay, I was actually thinking of it actually being alternate world, alternate parallel world, I guess you could say, branching off, but I guess not. But what caused that?
高峰さんが死にたくないと願ったから。だから朝に戻ったんです。死から逃れるために。
Love to have that type of ability. Wait, slow down. That makes no sense.
一度目の死んだ記憶が証拠になりませんか？
I'll admit, it felt way too realistic to be a dream. But even supposing what you said is true, what the heck would the world rewind just because I didn't want to die? Yeah, I was thinking the same. Quite small fraction of the world. The clock turned back each time someone was about to die, but didn't want to die. Everything would be a jumbled mess, no?
もちろん普通ではありえません。つまり、高峰さんは普通ではなかったんですよ。
Is there something wrong with me?
問題は体ではなく魂です。魂は人が思うよりも強大な力を持っています。それが発揮されると人の身を超えた現象、奇跡すら起こすことができるのです。その一部は今も伝えられていますね。
Miracles. Like turning water into wine or parting the Red Sea.
はい。ですが、気軽にホイホイ奇跡を起こしては、高峰さんの言う通り、世界が乱れます。なので神は、奇跡などを起こせる魂が生まれないようにしました。奇跡がホイホイ起きていたら、世界が壊れてしまいますから。しかも、自分でコントロールできない力となればなおさら。
Okay, but then what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me?
高峰さんは後天的に魂が強力になってしまったパターンです。原因はそれ。
The butterflies. Wait, I saw one just like that when you cut me with your scythe. And in my dream as well. I thought I died after the car hit me, but then I saw a butterfly. Next thing I knew, I was waking up in bed.
この蝶々は魂の残滓なんです。
Soul remnants? What are those?
人の魂は本来生まれ変わり巡るもの。ですが、生まれ変わるためにもそれなりの力が必要になります。
So there are exceptions.
生まれ変わるための力が足りず、消えてしまったり、魂が現世にこぼれ落ちたり。
And the souls that linger turn into these butterflies?
はい。とはいえ、肉体の殻に収まっていない魂はいずれ消失します。ですが、消失する前に生きている人間の魂に取り込まれる場合もあります。取り込んだ魂はその分だけ強大になる。
So you're saying the latter is what happened to me. Does that mean I have another person's soul inside me? I don't feel any abnormalities, aside from being a bit of restlessness.
衰弱した魂に人としての記憶や意志はありません。他の人と混ざり合っているわけではないことは保証しておきます。
That's a relief.
実は今、この衰弱した魂が死神業界で問題になっているんです。
It's an industry?
これまでにも衰弱した魂は存在しました。ですが近年、その魂が激増。現世を漂う蝶々も増加の一途をたどっているんです。
Why is that?
人が持つ魂の力とは、希望であったり、何かに対する執着であったり。一言で言うなら、強い気持ちです。ですが今は、若くても夢を見ない人も多い世の中です。疎み、絶望し、結果として魂が衰弱をする。
That's a pretty depressing reason.
別にポジティブな気持ちでなくても構いません。次こそは楽しい人生を送りたい。あいつが許せない。なんてネガティブな執着でもそこに思いがあればいいんですが、人生なんて辛いばかりでもう嫌だと諦めてしまわれるとどうしようもなく。
seriously depressing.
今時の死神の仕事は死者の案内だけではありません。新たな蝶々を生み出さないこと、そして現世をさまよう蝶々を集めることも死神のお仕事なんです。
That giant Sarth, ill-befitting her slender body, swings through the air. Its blade catches the butterfly mid-flight. Instantly, the glowing butterfly dissipates. So I'm guessing that's the reason for the scythe.
この鎌もそのためだけに使われるものですから、安心してください。
So then, the reason you slashed me was to separate the butterflies that my soul had absorbed.
だいたいそんな感じですかね。つまり次に何かあってもやり直しはできません。そのままあっさり死んでしまいますからお気をつけください。
Interesting. So Nozomi's spirit or ghost, I guess you could say, she saw was then those butterflies that attached to my soul. Interesting. And now she's gotten rid of them, so I can't revive anymore. I mean, sure. Kind of wished would have liked a bit more of the revive aspects, like one or two more. I think it just adds a bit more of an interesting twist to it. Well, we'll see how it goes.
なので夏目さん、いくら恥ずかしくても気軽に殺したりしないでくださいね。蒸し返さないで、忘れたいんだから。念のためってやつですよ。
Grim Reapers, souls, miracles. Sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale. So I'm still not entirely convinced any of it is true. But anyway, that means everything's back to normal now, right?
残念ながら、事態はそこまで簡単ではありません。重要なのはここからです。
やれやれ。ようやく我が輩の出番か。
Yeah, that voice is so distinct. Aside from myself, Akizuki-san and Shiki-san are the only other people in the room. So whose voice did I just hear? I can't believe you forgot that voice. Wait, are you the talking cat I spoke to earlier?
間違いではないが、我が輩とそこいらの猫を一緒にするな。
Just like then, the cat sits on its hind legs in the middle of a cafe. You don't seem very different from any other stray cat to me.
無礼だぞ。
Yep, very rude.
その姿では仕方ありませんよ。説明するためにも、まずは閣下の本来の姿に戻ってはどうです？
Excellency, someone higher than her and the Shinigami agency or group.
そうだな。では。
So you're gonna look like Mabushi.
これなら喋っても違和感がないだろう。
Okay, I was not expecting that. I was expecting some tall guy or something like that with glasses. Well, I kind of got glasses in a sense, but not what I expected. Definitely not what I expected. Okay. This just makes it way weirder, to be honest. And I think we'll stop there for today's episode. We're ending off in a weird situation again. Like, okay, a lot of this has been cleared up now. Now we understand that where some of these main characters fall into the paranormal in the world, how he died, why he died. Well, not why. But anyway. Interesting characters. So far, voices in the menu are quite loud. But yeah, it's quite interesting. So I can't wait to see more of her, see how her character develops and her Shiki interaction with everybody else's. Akizuki, I think her name was. Nozomi and a girl we have yet to find. So it'll be interesting to see the connection relation with everybody. But yeah, that should do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you continue to follow along with me on the story. Find it pretty interesting. Without further ado, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day.